promise to help each other, celebrate the joys of life, and to console each other.
Hello. I am sorry, but I must interrupt this show. Later, you know what it is. Hey, Ham Solo. It's time, baby. Low. It's time how we do. Hey. They said we said we it. They said we said we on. They said we said we strong. They said we said we go. We say that you heard right. 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 They said we said we it. They said we said we on. They said we said strong. They said we said we go. We say that you heard right. We say that you heard right. We say that you heard right. We say that you heard. Man, I swear that it's imminent. I've been going so hard on my pimp shit. About to go in and buy me a whip. And I pull that shit fresh off the dealership. I can leave you in red like an Xbox. Got me laughing at you like you red fox. Got you chasing Hot Wheels like a matchbox. EA running the game and it don't stop. Super cold like I'm playing for Blitz. Got you all in my sights like Red Dead Redemption. Never gonna slip on my pimpin'. Better get out my way, bitch, I'm on a mission. Really ain't no competition. I'm steady grilling opposition. I'm get up and ready to win. They can play it how they play, but fuck what you say. I'm getting this money today. Last of us like a dying breed. Down the ride like a noble steed. Fatality moves, I make it bleed. That's on any game, that's on any screen. Shut up and give me your money. They said we so lit. Even if I take an L, we coming back just to show that we don't quit. They said we said we lit. They said we said we on. They said we said strong. They said we said go.
Hey, K-Mac, how you like that new intro, bro?
That intro, that's hot. That's hot. That's hot. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
I made it all myself. You know, I was getting tired.
I think you're capping, but that's okay. That's all right.
No. I made it all myself. I got tired of trying to hit up video graphics artists and whatnot, and then they kind of get back to you when they feel like getting back to you. And then if you say anything on Twitter, it's a bunch of bots. So it's just So it's just like, I don't know where to go, and I don't know that anywhere comfortable to go to really make it. So this background that we working with right here, I made that. I mean, that's my ship right there. You know what I'm saying? That introduction was all me doing some editing for a few hours in the back. So, you know, man, I just had to do my thing, man. And I'm happy with the result I got. I'm happy.
No doubt. No, it was good. It was good stuff. I speaking of that big ass ugly ship, I went crazy and bought me a whole. I want to learn how to make ships. So when I go back on Starfield, I'm going to get into that. I got all caught up into wanting to do the bases, and I started figuring how to make those, and then but the ship's going to be the next level. But anyway, no, I went crazy and started buying me a whole bunch of movies, and they had Star Trek. They had Star Trek, the Captain Kirk movies, all of those, and the Picard movies, for like $34. I copped that. I had to cop it. So Sir X-Men would be proud of me of that. So salute to the Trekkies out there.
Man, it's the Trekkies.
Yeah.
He said that.
I said Trekkies. I'm sorry, Trekkies. My bad. My bad. Trekkies.
Respectful. Alrighty, man. Golly. You said shout out and then shit on them. Damn time. Tragic. But anyways, what's cracking back for the deadiest first up in here? Shout out to Ray Chi with the acknowledgement of that. Shout out to this bum in the chat right here. You see his name pop up. He ain't shit. You see him. He a drunk bastard when it comes to podcast.
Bro. Oh my God. I apologize for being so lit. My homeboy came through. He been wanting to get a hold of me after my mom's passed and stuff, and he came Friday early, and so it was good. And he got a bottle, and he's like, "Bro, we gonna game and drink." And I said, "Man, I got the podcast." He said, "Oh man, we'll be done before then." And sure enough, but that drink kept creeping, and then I was like, "Well, hell, I might as well continue to keep drinking." Next thing you know, we was going live, and then I got on my rant, and I said it to myself. I said it to myself. I said, my real name is Kareem. I said, Kareem, do not get on a rant because you're getting lit, and I couldn't help myself. So I apologize for that, but you
all good, man. You just living. You just living. You at the tear is all the way down here now, right? It's about to be shed. It's about to be shed. It's all right. It's
Yeah.
it's about to dry up. You know, you might have to pat it into the beard or something like that. But he rolling again now. He just,
Yeah.
the hubcap fell off for the night.
Yeah, that it happens every once in a while, but
But
you
anyway,
know,
shout out to some other folks
yeah.
that pulled up in here. I can't wait to get to John TJ's super chat because he's gonna kick us off. He's gonna kick us off pretty much.
Let's go.
Yeah, shout out to Ray Chi for saying congratulations Back from the Dead for being the first one to pull up. Vincent Vega pulling up as usual. He says the new intro is looking good. I appreciate it, brother. Worked a little while for that one. Shout out to P every time I say this fool's name. PS5 blows. Shout out to you coming through, supporting. I appreciate it. Make sure you guys hit that like button, share it out if you can. I'd appreciate it. It don't cost no money to do so. But somebody that did decide to spend a little bit of money, let's go on ahead into that first super chat we got with Drawn TJ with the $5 super chat saying, "Hi, K Mega and Ham. He says Xbox doesn't need to respond to the PS5 Pro, just focus on next generation console and handheld." Where are you at with just that thought right there, K Mega? He's kind of kicking us off today because we're gonna be talking about some of this PS5 Pro stuff that's been going around and whatnot.
Yeah, I totally agree with TJ, because well, Drawn T, I just think it if it's all about the games, then Xbox is providing that this generation. And we understand that the hardware and then this whole situation where people are getting all out of pocket about the 60 frames per second and things like that. But are you willing to pay upwards of $700 for that 1440p 60? Because you're not going to really get the opportunity to play 4K 60, because the console, for what the specs show, is going to be bottlenecked by the CPU. So I don't know, man, and it's not going to be cheap. So to me, Xbox just need to focus on the next generation when it comes to the hardware. Yeah, they'll get clowned a little bit for it by not having the most powerful console label, but it took PlayStation to make a Pro to do it. So Xbox, keep doing what you're doing with the games. Don't worry about the hardware, and then when you come out with the next generation console, blow anything and everything that's console wise out the water.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm kind of rolling with you on that one, just for the fact that I'm not trying to get nickeled and dimed all the way up to the end of a generation. So like, it's not that I'm looking at the PS5 Pro and thinking, this is like the worst thing ever or anything like that. I personally don't like mid-gen refreshes after last generation. After last generation, I just kind of felt like I was just buying consoles. And even after I had the One X, which is supposed to be like a bigger difference than this is supposed to be for the PS5 to the PS5 Pro, if we're talking about just like who had the biggest, percentage of like difference in between the original versus the Pro version. I look at that and I'm not mad at PlayStation, but I'm just like, at the same time, I'm just like, what am I going to see that comes from this that's going to make me want to get rid of what I have already, seeing that this is supposed to be a smaller leap than the One to the One X was.
Yeah.
Although I know we're, at a different time period, so obviously things will help out. But here's another piece of the argument right here. I already have a 3080. I already have a good CPU. I already have a powerful machine, and I already have a PS5. So it's just like, for third party games, and I know a lot of the argument is, oh well, Grand Theft Auto's coming out, and Grand Theft Auto ain't coming to PC right away or whatnot. Like, they're gonna do what they can with the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox version. I'd rather play it on my Xbox controller. That's what I've been playing the last Grand Theft Auto's on in the past. I like being on the, I don't want to leave all the homies that I already accumulated on Xbox and if they have they'll have a GTA 6 online and stuff like that.
Right.
I don't got homies and stuff like that over there on the PlayStation side. That I can just be like, yo, let's run it right now. I have a few, but it'd be like, more scheduled than Xbox, where I can just hop on and just be like, oh, these folks are on every night. I already know where, the biscuit gets buttered, right? So what's the point in trying to shake that up and restart completely from the start? And I'm just not sure if something like a PS5 Pro will really knock down the dominoes for me when it comes to like everything I need in this one box. I still feel like I'm separated with 3 totally different devices: PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. And PlayStation 5 Pro, sure, it sounds good or whatnot, but we already see 8K on the box of the PS5. We already see 120 FPS on that in the Series X box. So it's just like they already sold me on a lie. So why am I and it's not even completely that it's a lie as much as it's like the consistency was never there. How am I going to now expect you to drop another system that's cheaper than my PC and it's going to somehow magically be there now when my PC sometimes is like, yo, bro, what you doing? This game is tough. This game is strong. And I don't want to hear nobody say, oh, you know what, the PS5 going to be crazy. It ain't going to be better than my 3080. I'm sorry. It's not.
And that's where the problem is. On top of what you said, another conundrum with PlayStation is that it's going to cannibalize itself. It's because if this console is, which we all are thinking that it's going to be upwards of $600, if you got a console that's $600 and then within, let's say, 3 years, here comes the PlayStation 6. Well, the people who went and invested in a PlayStation Pro is going to be a little bit later on getting a PlayStation 6. So if Xbox,
I thought about that too.
Right, because think about this with the Xbox One X. See, now it was necessary for the Xbox One X, but then for the people who went and got an Xbox One X, the One X, there could have been those people that could have been like, man, I'm going to hold off on this Series X and I'll pick up the S. Right. But you know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to pick up this One X until I feel like at least I got my 5 years in, my 4 to 5 years
I still see a ton of homies with the One X right now. And it's just like, I almost don't even blame them because I'm like, you ain't a gamer like me. So you're not going to be like upgrading as fast as possible. You seen that One X, heard all the specs and everything like that. And you said, this is my next 5-year console.
Right. And that's what I feel like, that's why Xbox don't even need to do it. So you're fine. Because the reality of it is that we have not utilized all of the power that's in the Series X yet. The devs, if more and more games are going to go out to multiple platforms, the devs are going to not go out and do things because there'll be more parity. You see what I'm saying? So they're not going to utilize the PlayStation games if those games are both going to Xbox or PlayStation. So it's just not going to happen. Now, it might happen differently if, with Xbox doing something, if they're moving some of their games more over to the PlayStation, then they might want to show the power of the Series X or whatever. But in all hindsight, console gamers out there that doesn't get into the weeds like we do don't care. The 60 frames per second, 30 frames per second, that don't matter because we've been playing games at 30, 60. Now we can play games at 120. And there's a lot of people who don't even have TVs that can hit 120 frames per second. So to me, like when Grand Theft Auto, that's definitely going to be a good pushing chip for PlayStation and for Grand Theft Auto with the PlayStation Pro. But for Xbox, they don't have no marketing. So who cares? And Xbox is already going, and Xbox has their trump card, which is Game Pass. PlayStation needs to do what they got to do. We'll be talking later, I'm sure, about, the PSVR and other things with PlayStation. But I just think that it just makes more sense for Xbox just to hold out, and PlayStation could potentially hurt themselves if they're going to keep on going with this premium thing by having people pay more money. And it's going to come back and bite them in the ass because the PlayStation 6 is going to be more expensive than the PlayStation Pro. You see what I'm saying? Or in the equivalent of the same price. And so people are going to look at that and say, oh man, I just bought this 2-3 years ago. I'm not going to spend this money on this again. Nah, man, I'll just wait. This thing is doing everything that I wanted to do right now. So, and it could be another situation where just like with the PlayStation Pro, not a lot of people really bought it. It sold decent, but it didn't fly off shelves like the PlayStation Slim and regular did. So and so I think that that's kind of like what PlayStation is going to have to deal with. They'll have a more comparable console, and there's people that will say, okay, here we got a console that's more powerful or it's equal as the Series X. But again, if you're a person that has a PC like you and I do, Ham, I don't need it. You know what I'm saying? I don't need it. And I can wait for Grand Theft Auto to come to PC a year later. We know it's going to come. And it's in my 4080, and hell, you know what I'm saying, by maybe next year, I might have a 4090 or a 500 series. I don't know. But either way, I still will have a more comparable console playing experience with Grand Theft Auto than I would if I would buy a PlayStation Pro.
Gotcha. I'm gonna read off a couple of these other super chats and welcome in some more people that came through. But John TJ said with a $5 super chat, in Starfield I made the Halo 2 UNSC Fragate Savannah. It's big and I'll have to show you sometime. And he also
we want to see it.
Goes on to say, which I definitely need to get John TJ up on here on like one of the Friday shows or something like that. That'd be dope. But John TJ also says the devs aren't using the tools. Only COD and Halo are 4120. 120 FPS is I think what he meant to say is 120 FPS right now. It's time and resources. So
that's right.
So definitely something to think about right there. Shout out to Sour Blow comes through here as well as
there's a lot of blows in here on your chat.
I mean, that's something, right? That is something.
Yeah.
And then we got level 1 game very own Baron J67.
What's going on, Baron?
Good to see him as well.
Yo.
Hopefully you're going to PAX. I don't remember if I got confirmation that you're going or not, but if you are, I'll see you there. Shout out to Lady Foxfire as well. Just pulled up just a little bit ago saying, hey, what's up, everybody? Legendary Yobi popping up. Peace, love, life. And then also Pixelbit G popping up in the chat as well, saying shout out to putting the mid-gen refresh. Oh man, this
Pixel's disrespectful. I love it.
Mad disrespectful right from the jump. He came into the first chat.
Yep.
Throwing the shade. What's cracking, Stanley Francois? Thank you for coming through, brother. I appreciate y'all so much. Make sure y'all hit that like button, share it out, let people know that we live and doing our thing right now. But enough BS aside, I think K-Mac, we need to actually get into the topics because we're kind of talking about the topics, but we ain't really,
let's do it.
Doing the topics or whatnot. So let me go on ahead and get that kicking. Got to share this on the screen or whatnot so everybody else can see, because I'm going to pull up one of the articles I had saved to myself. And you pretty much know what's going on, K-Meg. I already kind of gave you the heads up of what we're going to be talking about today. But here it is right here. We might as well just get it kicked off from the jump. Let me zoom in so you guys can kind of see it a little bit better. I'll also go to the article here momentarily so you guys can actually see it from the article itself. But a Benji Sales, which is obviously, if you know, dude is a very credible source. He's usually pretty spot on with what he says, and he doesn't do anything purposely to try to get clout from one side or the other. He's just like, here's the information, do with it whatever you wish. So with his recent tweet, he said that PS5 Pro specs, which have leaked, has a GPU 33.5 teraflop.
Oh man, here comes his word.
45% faster than the PS5, which the PS5, to give it its own credit, is already pretty dang fast. So that's kind of interesting hearing that. It says 2 to 4 times ray tracing improvement, custom machine learning -AI upscaling, which I'm sure we're going to be hearing a lot of that in the near future with all these different consoles that are going to be coming out. Shout out to the Switch. Shout out to whatever Xbox is working on as well. They also say CPU, same hardware, but 10% faster clock speeds. That's something to pay attention to right there. It also goes to say system memory is 576 gigabytes, 28% boost versus a PS5, targeting holiday of 2024. I want to hear you guys in the chat if you guys have any thoughts, or if you're looking to possibly get this, what would you like to get out of, or what kind of things would push you over the edge of saying, you know what, fuck what I got, I need something better? Or maybe you don't have a PS5 yet, and this is exactly what you've been waiting for. Let me know in the chat what you're kind of thinking about this whole Pro model, what you think the prices are going to be and whatnot. Let's actually go to the article itself. So the article itself says exclusive, more PlayStation 5 Pro specs detailed following this week's leak on the PlayStation 5 Pro GPU specs and performance targets. Insider Gaming has learned more. PS5 Pro specs, for comparison's sake, will also include the specifications of the standard PS5. And then it kind of goes on to say some of the stuff that we already kind of talked about. And it goes a little bit more in depth. So here's something I wanted to kind of touch upon before I read the super chat and also get K Mega's thoughts on. So it says right here, CPU. The CPU is identical to the standard PS5. However, the Pro has a high CPU frequency mode, which, in other words, it's like an overclock, which takes the CPU to 3.85 gigahertz, a 10% over the standard console. In high CPU frequency mode, more power is allocated to the CPU and will downclock the GPU by around 1.5%, resulting in roughly 1% lower GPU performance. The audio, I might as well just read this whole thing before I get to the next part. It says the audio, the ACV in the PS5 Pro runs at a higher clock speed over the standard PS5, resulting in the ACM library having 35% more performance, more convolution, reverbs can be processed, more FFTs or IFFTs can be processed. GPU previously revealed rendering 45% faster than PS5 to 3 times ray tracing, 4 times in some cases, which is nuts. 33.5 teraflops. PS5 PlayStation specular super resolution upscaling, and the aliasing solution. The support for resolution up to 8K is planned for future SDK version. Custom machine learning architecture, AI accelerators supporting 300 tops of 8-bit compilation, 67 teraflops of 16-bit floating point. I don't know what that last part means at all. But I'm going to go on ahead and read John TJ Super Chat, which he has right here, saying, I would love to come on sometime. My work schedule is 6 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. It's almost 12 my time right now. Okay, so yeah, it's 2 o'clock here, 12 o'clock over there. Yeah, I'm sure we could work something out for like an evening show or whatnot. What I should do is just get you on behind them sticks. That'd be a good thing. Have you on right there on the camera and whatnot. Listen to what you because you've talked about all sorts of old school stuff, all the way up to the new school stuff that we're currently talking about right now. So it'd be kind of cool to kind of get your background in here, a little bit more about you, and see what you're all about. So it's good to get that super chat from you, John TJ. But I'm definitely gonna have to work around your schedule and see what we can get going on. But K Mega, from what I just got done reading, and going over, some of the specs and whatever for the newest PS5 that's supposed to be coming out, the PS5 Pro. What do you think about it? Just from like not a comparing and contrasting the Xbox,
Right.
not a comparing to contrasting to PC. Just flat out like when you see this and you see all the bigger numbers and stuff like that and the expectations behind it, what are your honest opinions and thoughts? And also, do you think that that's what the PS5 Pro is going to look like? Because I highly doubt
I I hope not. I hope it don't look that way, but it most likely will be probably black. So,
it. That'd be dope.
yeah. So that'll probably be dope. But I mean, with the lines, yeah. But whatever. I don't know. The PlayStation 5 is an ugly console. So it's not, and I don't expect this thing to be. Man, come on, man. Man, come on, man. It's drove. It's to the curb. It is not a sexy console, but regardless of that, it's more
TJ
about
with the hate saying, "Ham, they need games first to even
I
consider
was
buying that paper."
I was going to say that. I'm like,
Come
well,
on,
no,
y'all. I
okay.
mean,
So
I already know they
listen,
need games more, but damn, you guys coming out with the disrespect. I'm over here trying to be, I'm trying to be as like comforting to like
yeah,
enter into this PS5 zone that we got right here. And
I'm beyond that now.
y'all
I'm
trying to
beyond
wash
that
it and
now.
say, God damn.
I'm beyond that. I'm beyond that.
Man, y'all do
I'm all about the messy. But no, the truth of the matter is that listen, when the Xbox series, when the Xbox One X first came out, that was one of the talking points. Well, where's the games to show off the power? Well, the same thing applies to what PlayStation is doing right now. So this is going to come out at the end of this year. In a year, in two years, where PlayStation's games lineups has been lacking. Now, will this make The Last of Us 2 remastered look extra polished? Absolutely. But we've been there, done that. So you know what I'm saying, but where's the new stuff to go ahead and utilize this thing? But we all know that it's for Grand Theft Auto for next year. And yeah, see, and this is the difference. This is how the game is going to get played. And this is what kind of pisses me off a little bit, because when Xbox was showing off Assassin's Creed Origins on the Xbox One X, it looked absolutely fantastic. When they showed Red Dead Redemption 2, just fantastic, beautiful. So when you get the chance to play Dragon's Dogma 2 on the Pro, it's going to look good for the games that's going to come out at the end of the year for whatever. Because I'm sure that one game, what Outlaws from Ubisoft, the Star Wars game,
Star Wars Outlaws.
Yeah, that's supposed to be coming out this year. And then you're going to have oh man, why am I having a problem with Dragon Age come out at the end of this year as well? So those games are really going to look fantastic on the PlayStation 5 Pro. But the problem is that what is the first party going to look like? Like, I mean, is it going to be just a rendition of something else that we've already played, or is it going to be something new? And so far, we don't know anything new except for, I guess, Stellar Blade, which her thickness and yams will look better. But I mean, it is what it is, but it's still not a first party game. I just look at it from this is for two type of gamers. The people like us who want the new tech because we are a fan of PlayStation or just gaming in general, and people who do not have a PlayStation yet.
Okay.
Because for anybody else who has a PlayStation 5, okay, if the PlayStation 5 Pro does not have sliders to where you can manipulate how you want a game like you can with PC, which I know I'm not trying to compare, and I'm just saying that they're not going to have the sliders like that. It's going to already be set for whatever the developers do for those games. Then all of this stuff is not going to matter, because the CPU is bottlenecking all the other stuff. Like T-flop is this new word that's like goes back to last generation as resolutions. You know what I mean? Like resolution was the word. Yeah, what's the resolution? What's that? What's this? What's this? Let's see the blades of grass. Now it's teraflops, and it don't mean a damn thing if your CPU is only giving you 5 to 10% if it's the same architecture. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's like you said, it's just an overclock. So, and as somebody who's just now really getting into the PC realm of stuff and understanding some of these terminologies now, I get it. Like, that's like me trying to play some of the games on this 4080 on on my old AMD. You know what I'm saying? On my old AMD CPU, like that, it would be cooking. So like, no, that's why you had to upgrade. So it just doesn't make any sense to pay that much money if you are a person who already has a PlayStation and you're not a person that cares about the frames like that. And then what's also telling to me as well is when they're talking about the 2 to 4 times ray tracing. Well, I'm sorry, I'm here to tell you yet again, there will still be 30 frame per second games, because if you want those bells and whistles, you want those games to look as beautiful and tasty as ever, there's going to be sacrifices. And so that means with that ray tracing, you're going to have to go ahead and play those games in those 30 frames per second. So it is what it is. I mean, for people, like I said, people out there that want to jump on it and don't have a PlayStation 5, I think this might be a good look for you if the price is right. But that, I think, is going to be the true indication of where Sony is going to be. Are they going to try to be a little bit flexible and have this out to be at that 600 price tag? Or are they going to really try to go out and see if they can knock this thing out the park and try to catch us to be suckers and have this thing 600 or more? So and at this point, Sony kind of seems like they just don't give a damn. They might hit you over the head for 650.
You know, I'm kind of leaning with Jax.
Okay, what's Jax saying?
Jax in the chat said he said a couple things.
Okay.
So he first says the PS5 Pro is not needed. I'm going on not getting one. I don't see this console making a difference at all. I see the console making some sort of difference, but I just don't know if it's a difference enough for me to shell out more than what I paid for the previous consoles, especially seeing that so many things are getting ported to PC from PlayStation themselves. And I already have a PC that, and like I said, I already have a PC.
And it's also about people's televisions and monitors as well. That's another factor too, man.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of factors that come with it. But Jax also goes on to say that this will. I'm assuming he's trying to say this will cannibalize the current PS5, and I just think it's weird that you just announced not too long ago this whole Slim thing, right? Mm-hmm. And then you go straight into having a Pro right before the Grand Theft Auto game can come out and whatnot, and it's just like, damn, they're doing everything this generation to make sure to let you know that they're standing on last generation's business model of, get as much money out of you as possible. But at the same time, I'm sitting here riding with what Drawn TJ said. Shout out to the Longhouse Game Podcast as well, and Mr. Joanna Dark popping through. But I'm rocking with what Drawn TJ said as well. Is it's just like here we are again talking more about hardware at the end of this year, and you ain't got no games coming out from your actual first party. It's just weird to see. Here we are again, second year in a row.
2 years, bro.
2 years in a row, you got more hardware than you got games. Damn. You letting third party do all the labor, all the work. And you're just and I think it's a good business plan to want to take advantage of the money that you'll get from third party, and maybe this move makes sense in that aspect. Not knocking them for wanting to do that. Maybe you want to be a step in front of your competition with the third-party products, so your Hogwarts Legacy looks a little bit better. Your Dragon's Dogma looks a little bit better, or whatever, or how you see it. But when I'm sitting here, and everybody's been telling me the last time, why would somebody buy an Xbox over a PlayStation when I can play all the same games on my PlayStation? Well, now I'm asking the same question right back. Like, why would I go out and buy a new version of the PlayStation when I can already play that on the version of PlayStation, and you guys already have these, keywords on the box of the PlayStation 8K 120, all this good stuff and whatnot. We already know the Xbox can do 120, 4K or 8K, whatever, right? These things haven't, in my opinion, been pushed to the limits. Sure, somebody said, "Oh, we're already seeing limits." Well, where? What game have I seen an exact game that said, "Yo, we push this all the way to the limit," and not just the PS5, but the Series X by itself? Because you got to know, you got to remember in the background, they're scaling their games based off the Series S and then scaling up to the Series X, right? So it's just like, I don't really feel like it, I kind of feel the same way I do when I got the 1X, where it's like, here we are thinking about the next generation, and I still don't feel like the 1X got taken advantage completely of. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So so Xbox is talking about, and like I seen Jazz come out with a tweet not that long ago. He said, serious question, would you guys be willing to get an Xbox Pro?
No.
And I'm just sitting there like, why? Like,
No.
first of all, we already have an issue with messaging for Xbox, right? So if you come out and just randomly announce, we're doing a Pro, we're going to be like, what the fuck? Phil just said not that long ago, we don't need to do that.
Don't need to do
So
it.
why are we doing that now? So that'd be weird. They're already talking about the handheld as being a possible option. So I'm looking more forward to Xbox progressing and not trying to reinvent the wheel over and over, nickel and diamond things through the rest of the generation, just to say, hey, get the Pro today, and in 2 years we're gonna have a whole new console. Like, nah, bro.
No,
I'm not trying to spend $600 today just so you can finish up with Fable and have a brand new console.
Right. That just don't make no sense. Right. That don't make no sense at all.
Perfect Dark comes out, or the new Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, and here I am with 2024's Xbox One X.
Right. No, it don't make any sense. The smarter solution for Xbox is to go ahead and let PlayStation have 2-3 years of having the power narrative, and then come early like you did with the 360 and blow the doors off with the new with your new Xbox. That's the perfect solution. And that way because I mean, technically, when we was having these discussions here on GRG, and then even here, and I was having this discussions even with Don and others, the question was PlayStation going to go all out and make their Pro version significantly better than the Xbox, within the Series X? And I was like, I don't see it, because the only thing that they want to have, because the stands, the PlayStation stands, is only they only have, PlayStation just have to use a slight bit of power and they'll blow it up to say, look, I thought you had this, I thought you had that. That's how they operate over there. In the natural scheme of things, Xbox doesn't have to do anything, because like you were saying earlier, the Xbox is not capped yet. Hell, we didn't see the Xbox One really truly capped until towards the end of its life cycle. We seen the potential of what the Xbox could do with like games like Red Dead, like I was bringing up earlier. Yeah, like, so it's one of these things to me where I'm just not understanding how anybody on Xbox, on Team Xbox, would look at it and say, well, we still need to keep that power narrative. You will. It's just that you're just going to wait a little bit longer to do it. You already had the power narrative when the consoles first come out. This is a newer version of what PlayStation is doing. And so, like a Pro edition, that still doesn't negate that Xbox came out as the more powerful console than the PlayStation. The PlayStation had to sell you a new product in order to be slightly more powerful than the Xbox Series X. to me, it really just wouldn't make any sense whatsoever. I think that when what it boils down to is Xbox just needs to come with the heat with the new console, and I believe that they will. And I think that they should also kind of not steal, but kind of mimic what Nintendo's doing. And from all the rumors of what we've been hearing, have them have this hybrid type of console, AI type of high tech crazy thing to where you can have handhelds, because handhelds are hot right now. VR is not. Handhelds, handhelds is the hot commodity. And I think if Xbox can do something that's in the same wheelhouse as what the Switch is doing, where you could dock, where you can have, where you can, well, or if Xbox brings out a console that is it looks like a traditional console, but it has a like a handheld addition to it. Like, I don't know how they could play it out, but if I would think, what in my mind, and what I think would be really cool is if they had something that was kind of similar to the Switch, and then if you could dock it 4K, what I'm saying, 120, whatever, and it's already going to be a monster. But if they do something where instead of them bringing the S, and they bring a handheld in addition, and if it could be an option just to buy, like if you don't even want the console and you just want the Xbox handheld, whatever, I think that that's a winning strategy right there. Instead of trying to make a Pro.
If they make a dockable Series S, it's gonna be nuts.
Bro, that's what I would hope they would do, is do like a dock. Yeah, just follow what Nintendo did to us. When does Xbox have to not always be at the forefront of tech? How about they kind of look at something and say, you know what, I want to do this and I want to just do it better.
Okay, I want you to read this message. I want you to read the message I have highlighted and the one under it.
Okay,
from Mr. Joy in the Dark, and I want you to. Well, I guess let me speak on it, and then I want you to speak on it as well.
Okay. Dark, he said, he says, with so many games that come out each year, do you think the Nintendo strategy of less first part could be good? Or I think he's saying first party. It allows for those first party to have a bigger impact. Thoughts? No, I don't know if I agree with that, because Nintendo is just in its own lane when it comes to the first party. Yes,
I feel like I agree with that for maybe Nintendo's.
Nintendo is just at a god tier when it comes to their first party titles. Their fan base is true loyalists to the console because of the first party.
I feel
it's
like
not so much
and
PlayStation or
like
Xbox.
in two opposite spectrums, where Nintendo could fall back a little bit on maybe first party and take advantage of more.
They had no strong third party.
Right.
Yeah.
Like they're not known as the third party machine. They're known more as the first party machine, right? That has some third party games. So they could probably benefit from falling back on first party, allowing EA games to be more accessible there, Activision games to be more accessible there, and stuff like that. Like seeing a Call of Duty come on to a Switch console and have it run properly would be a big deal for that platform. But Xbox doing the same thing, falling back, that's what they did the past 10 years. We don't want them falling back at all. We need them at the forefront with first party games, shoving them out, because like I said, they were the opposite of Nintendo. They're known for kind of just holding on to the bumper of the truck while it's, riding, where it's like, oh my goodness, they're barely kind of hanging on right now. So like they need some first party games to bolster up. As for the PlayStation 5, I feel like this is kind of a play area with them where they kind of have enough of the popularity to maybe fall back a little bit, but they have enough of the competition from Xbox and hungry people from PlayStation themselves that won't really allow them to fall back like a Nintendo could. And then plus on top of that, the sales which of the games that they've had as of lately haven't done the best. So they can't really afford to fall back near as much as like a Nintendo could, where they kind of see their own funds be returned tenfold, and compared to a PlayStation where they're like, yo, we need Spider-Man to really go off because we got to pay back these folks over here, and then we're gonna be making our cash from over there, or we got this exclusive deal with Square Enix. We need to make sure that they're getting their bread, or Stellar Blade. We paid for that exclusive, so we need to show out here. And I'm over here looking at it like, yo, y'all are doing that, but still, games like Sea of Thieves are outperforming y'all, and it's just like, what is PlayStation gonna do to really pull in people to their first party games? I feel like we're kind of getting away from the topic. So let's go to the second. So unless you have something to say about what Mr. Joanna Dark just said right here, let's go to the second part.
Okay, yeah, I just to touch a little bit more on what you're saying, and listen, Xbox is in a different position now because of the ABK deal, and because it's ZeniMax, and because they're going to be playing third party / first party. So for them, they can enhance their first party because Xbox needs to and has to, but they also want to have more third party games go, more of some of their content go to other places to where they recoup more money and have full control of the industry in a different direction than how Sony wants to do it. The reality with Sony is just like what you was alluding to, is that if it's not Spider-Man, God of War, or Gran Turismo, and now I'll throw Ghost of Tsushima in there, I don't see. I don't. Is it? You know what I'm saying? Is it safe to say the Stellar Blade is going to rake? Is Ronin going to do anything? I think Ronin's going to get cooked. Ronin's going to get cooked. It's going to come out the same time that Dragon Dogma 2 is dropping.
That's wild.
That yeah, I'm like, who did not see that? Like, you did not see that this game was already getting touted. It's almost like the Horizon versus going against Elden Ring. You did not see that. You did not see that. So
or Zelda,
or Zelda. Like, are you not paying attention to the room? Like, look, we know the PlayStation 4 era, your shit didn't stink now, but you raising prices. These games don't have the same type of doesn't have the same type of quality. Like, because I'm still seeing people complain about Spider-Man 2. So it's really wild to me. But regardless, no, Sony's first party is not as strong as it used to be, and also we still haven't seen any numbers from Final Fantasy 15 Rebirth. I mean, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. We still ain't seen no numbers. That's not normal. So
yeah, so usually that's it's like a parade, right?
Right. So it's so to me, it's kind of like, no, PlayStation has to go another direction, and Nintendo, where they are just solid at, is their first party. They proved that they don't need third party, but it will make the console a hell of a lot more attractive for people who aren't Nintendo fans, because they can get a chance to play the Call of Duties in other games, because the console is going to be a lot more powerful. So yeah, and then, like I said, Xbox is in a whole nother lane, but they got to get their first party out there. Let the Xbox gamers know what is going to be completely Xboxes and PCs, and what's going to be kind of out there for the streets and things of that nature. So yeah.
Like, maybe I'm crazy, and I don't know. Maybe I need some therapy. I don't know. But I remember at the beginning of this console generation, folks over on the PlayStation side was telling me to stop talking about hardware and talk about the games.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm losing my goddamn mind.
No, you know.
But it feels like I'm always talking about hardware when it comes to
Twilight Zone
PlayStation right now.
It's the Twilight Zone.
Xbox. Every time I talk about them, as of recently, we talking about the games and how they're gonna land and where they're gonna land and whatever. Like, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck is going on here, dog.
It's the Twilight Zone,
but like, this shit right here is just wild, because we're sitting here talking about the PlayStation Pro and the specs and whatnot, There ain't not one game. They ain't got one motherfucking game that we can talk about on PlayStation that we're just like, yo, I can't wait to see this on that. We talking about third-party games and how they need to look on the Pro console. Like I don't remember that being okay to do with Xbox ever.
No.
When's the last time that we had to pop on and be like, you know what, man, that Borderlands 3 looking mighty hot on the
last generation, I had to do it a lot. I had to do it a lot, and the stands was tearing my ass up because they were like, "Yo, why are you talking about third party? Y'all talking about third party? That ain't no first party game. You know what I'm saying? Hardware, controllers. Yo, you know what I'm saying? You only got Sea of Thieves, and you only got State of Decay, and and Bleeding Edge is dead. You know, bro, we getting cooked. We was getting cooked because when you kept seeing that the lineup of PlayStation games at the end of the generation last gen, it was bad. It was just bad. Even though that Xbox still had some, like I'm over here to Recore is a good game. It is a good game. And I would love to see Recore come back again. But it does also but it hits you a little different when you still got to go back and you got to talk about Titanfall 1 and Rise and Quantum Break when we in 2017. You know what I'm saying? Bro, it's different now. So, like, you know what I'm saying? PlayStation cats is talking like we were last gen. They're still talking about Bloodborne. You know what I'm saying? They're over here still talking about God of War 2018, Spider-Man 2018. Like that's crazy. It is crazy. It's nuts. You're not crazy. Now you are crazy, but you're not crazy on that one. Not at all.
I'm just kind of thrown off. Man, as a matter of fact, we need to change topics for a little bit because if I don't change topics right now, I'm just gonna German suplex this whole situation and I'm gonna be just negative. It ain't gonna be nothing good.
Get off of here.
We're gonna get hate likes and all that stuff. Yeah, man. I need to keep it pushing. So with that being said, and we're not even done with talking about PlayStation hardware, unfortunately, but we are at this very moment. We are at this very moment because I just can't handle it right now. I can't handle it right now. Maybe I'll be able to gather myself together for the next time here in about 20, 30 minutes when we talk about the next topic. I'm hoping like 15 minutes. But we got some interesting news about, Starfield's 2024 DLC, Shattered Space release, updates, and more. So, hey, Megan, you excited for this joint right here?
Man, absolutely. And I've been so busy doing stuff, so I really haven't been gaming. Like I was telling you earlier, I was like, man, I've kind of gone this week. I played the the demo. I posted it yesterday, but that's about it. And I've been playing a little bit of Tales of Arise, but most of the I haven't been really playing anything. Been busy running around and stuff. But here coming up this week, I'm going to get right back on the regiment. But it's crazy. Like there's just so much content coming in, and you bringing this greatness back into my life, man. Because once I get back on Starfield, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, Ham, it's going to be a problem. The only game that I can see me not playing Starfield is going to be Hellblade 2. You know what I'm saying? And then so now I got a mix between Dragon's Dogma because I'm going to give this a shot. I'm you know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to the PC version to Horizon Forbidden West, but that's mostly like going to get into the back bend, the weight. You know what I'm saying? So when this drops and then Elden Ring comes, like, bro, it's nuts because I mean this DLC is going to be even more chaotic. So I'm real hyped for it. Are you hyped for it?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, I've kind of slowed down playing that game in the last month or so just because I want to like save up some some of that excitement and navigate just navigating, getting around, doing shit and whatnot in the game for when the DLC comes out. But I wanted to talk just a little bit about what this article was saying about some of the stuff that would be new in the DLC. So I scrolled about halfway through the article, and it says describing the Shattered Space DLC in the end of year blog post. Bethesda promised new story content, new locations, new gear, and much more. As such, fans will likely be treated to plenty of new planets to explore, adding to the over 1,000 that were there from launch. These ought to include some completely new types of environments, lands on that will add more variety to the gameplay and presumably play into the new story missions. Looking back to Fallout 4, the last major open world title from Bethesda Game Studio, each of the major DLCs took between 5 to 11 hours on average to complete the main storyline content. As games and expectations of the DLC expansion have evolved since then, it would not be shocking to push Shattered Space towards the higher end of that range with additional new side content to enjoy too. In terms of story, many have theorized it will dive into the origins of House of Varun, a group renowned for its military and religious dedication to the serpent, to the Great Serpent, with the faction now dispersed across the galaxy following several wars, known for their religious zeal and military might. The Cabal's member worship a deity called the Great Serpent. Following the breakout of several wars, the group was fractured and its followers were displaced across the parts of the colonized galaxy known as the settled systems. Beyond that, there will undoubtedly be fresh assortment of weapons, gears, and cosmetics to unlock across the main storyline and other new missions. And they also are kind of alluding to in this last paragraph that there'll be another one saying that Bethesda pretty much said that this is their first major expansion for Starfield. So with that being said, K Mega, what are some pieces that you would like to see be added to this DLC, or is there something that's kind of irritated you in the gameplay that you're currently playing that you'd like to see maybe upgraded in this DLC down the
line? Gear definitely, but one thing I would like, and I hope that they would. I know that there was rumor to it, but like having a vehicle of some sort to ride on planet. Because I mean, as fun as it is to jump on a new planet and walk and stuff, but after you go back to other planets, I'm saying the rollback. Nah, man, I need, give me a little hoverboard, give me a little something that I can move around a little quicker, or if not, put more fast checkpoints through there, so I can just kind of zip and run around. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when I get into my mode of what I want to discover, I have no problem with walking around. But you know what I'm saying? But if you could give me a vehicle of some sort or something that I can kind of hover around and not just kind of just run and jog, then that would be perfect. Now I myself, like I was telling you earlier, I don't have all the variations open for me to start building ships like the ones that you make, that you made. But if they would add more of those, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, your mic.
Yeah, boy.
Oh, but my bases though, you don't got all the resources like I do for bases on Worlds. My bases on Worlds is stupid, man. It's stupid. Anyway, but yeah, so that for me, that's the main thing, is to run, you know what I'm saying, have something to where I can run around on World, or you know, give me fast checkpoints. New weapons, and if they want to add more power, even though like I was so surprised about how many powers that there were in Starfield. That was very impressive. I had no idea that they was going to have that, but if they want to add more, that would be great. I mean, this is definitely Skyrim in space in that sense of where they're going to keep adding expansions and expansions and yeah, I think going deeper into the Varun, that'll be great. And especially if you had a relationship with old girl, Adasia, you know what I'm saying? So, which I did, you know what I'm saying? That's my boo. So, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm sure that that could cause some complexities, or let me not try to talk and say big words. Yeah, I said it kind of right the first time, and then I tried to change it up and try to make it sexy, and it was bad. So let me just say some might cause some issues with her, and then it might fracture the relationship or something of that nature. But yeah, no, I think that would be really really dope. What are some of the things that you would like? Yeah, and chat, let me know. Let me know. And shut up, Sir X Man.
So what I would like is them to make in this DLC. I would like them not only to have the new planets and whatnot, but I'd like them to have the old planets be more dense with enemies
Okay. Okay.
and
Okay.
stuff like that. Like
Mhm.
like I would like to not run so far before I
Yeah.
encounter something or
Some more.
have to, pick up I don't know. I just want to see more action without having to look so hard for it.
Right. Right.
More caves would be cool.
I
More
was just gonna say that. Yeah, that would be, yeah.
yeah,
A
more
variety of caves.
deep mining caves would be
Mhm.
dope. Um more variation of enemies, and I'm saying more or less like actual aliens that can maybe have some sort of language of their own, but not be like one to one with humans. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Um, I would definitely like to go out and find something wild like a Borg or something
Mhm.
out there
Yeah.
that's just like wild and technology crazy, but we can't communicate. Maybe we work together somehow, but then again, maybe they're just all evil and it's on side all the time.
Right.
Right? So
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
that
yeah,
would
that
be
would be
fun.
okay. Yeah,
I mean,
that would be.
that'd be fun. It's already like kind of wishy-washy when you're dealing with the what are those guys called? The ones that look like RoboCops and whatever. I'm trying to think of the name of those fools.
You
I
said it
yeah, I
looked like
can't.
RoboCop.
Yeah, yeah. They got the all silver
Oh,
outfits
yeah, yeah, I
and
know. Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
they're
yeah. I
all
forgot what they're
the
called.
bounty hunters that are
Yeah,
always looking for you, right?
they all silver. Yeah, and they got they got some kick-ass weapons too. Yeah. But yeah, and they're not pirates. What are they? Some of them are pirates.
No, they definitely work for a group,
They work for a
right?
group, but I can't remember what. Yeah, because I think that they were like a rival to Reusion or whatever that one place is, that one group that I was telling you
They're
where.
either yeah,
Yeah.
they're that, but they're also they're kind of a rival of everybody. They're just kind of like the people that
y-
nobody
y-
really
right.
liked,
Yeah.
maybe the other than maybe like Constellation because they ended up getting a lot of the
Mhm.
bounties from them
Yeah.
or whatnot. But
No, I definitely feel you on a different alien that's not a creature. That would be
right.
that
Yeah, that's
definitely
not
would
like an
be, yeah.
animal. It's something that
Right.
actually can like they have bases of their own. They have ships of their own
Mhm.
that are like crazy and look wild and look like, a piece of rock in the middle of space or something like that. That'd be dope. A totally different variation. And then whenever like you go over comms with them, it's just a bunch of nonsense that you can't
Yeah.
understand. And depending on voice and like infliction and whatnot, if you're getting ready to go into a fight or if they're just like some innocent people that just so happen to be of that race.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That would
That'd
be,
be pretty
yeah.
nuts.
Yeah. No, and maybe that there's a more powerful enemy. That more powerful enemy will set off a new world war or galaxy war. You know what I'm saying? But but they've been colonizing other places that's further out in the galaxy. Yeah. Now there's a lot of potential that they could do with that. But yeah, I definitely agree. Also add more alien creature variants. The cave thing is definitely, because when you do find those caves, those mining caves, or even those certain caves where they're a lot bigger, you can come and you could go through and see, and they're all lit up. Those kind of get kind of fun, but it's still usually around the same type of creature or something like that that's in it. But yeah, no, there definitely need to be a little bit more variety on that end, especially with like humanoid type creatures, or just something that's that's not a beast.
I'd
So
also
yeah.
like to go to a world that's constantly in like or a system that's
Mhm.
constantly in war.
Oh
I
damn, you
think
you
that'd
want
be
you want
cool.
something like the Klingons that's always battling. Yeah.
Like where it's almost like let me give you a situation like putting the almost, yeah, like let's just say like Klingon or something like that, right? Like where there's one type of Klingon and there's another type of Klingon and they're just
Mhm.
constantly going at it, and you show up to that system and you have to choose which side you're going to be, and you have to go to these all the different planets and help them secure different things,
Mhm.
right? I think
Yeah.
that would be hella dope.
Oh
Just
yeah.
just just have a system that I can go to always be able to fight a war.
Right. And see, since and that's another thing too, like, and it makes me feel that eventually the game will have some kind of co-op or PvP. Because if you would do a battle world or a battle galaxy, that would have to be online, right? Or what I'm saying, or if you wanted to do something that was co-op, that you wanted to come in and do that, like they could do the shit like kind of like what they do with Helldivers, right? They could have a whole sector to do that. Now they said that it was just a single player game, but I feel the more that game progressed, I think that they'll lean more to put some kind of online element in it,
I don't see
kind
that
of push
happening, but I
that to
think
me.
that'd be hot.
That would be hot. Oh my god! If you could do war, you could do like you said, just even though just a planet, just a war planet, and then you just get in there and act a fool a little bit. Oh man, there's a lot of potential. But that's the great thing about Starfield. Like it has so much potential, and even though the game had its issues, but the game was so compelling. Like that was the one thing about Starfield that blew my mind, was that no, it's not the best looking game out there. No, it's not it doesn't have the best story that you've ever seen or been a part of, but it had some of it was special. It's special, and it's worth playing, and you'll get yourself immersed into it, and it'll lock you in, and man, it's such a good game, man. I love Starfield. I love the hell out of Starfield. I love it. Mike. Uh-oh. I can't hear you. Say something. Oh, I can't hear you.
There we go. You good?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know
All
what
right.
happened. I muted my mic right here, and for whatever reason, I muted it in the
All
actual
right.
program itself. But anyways, let's hit up on this last topic because I got to go here in like 15 minutes. I
Okay,
got a
yeah.
meeting with the
And,
office.
and
Got
my
to take care of
connection
some.
coming here, so we good. We good. We
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I got a couple loose ends I need to knock out
Yes.
before I leave town. You got to take care of your business before you go have
Do your
fun.
thing. Do your thing. I can't wait. I can't wait to see your content and stuff, man. You're gonna have a great time. I'm telling you, man. It is a different experience. You'll love it. You will love it. I've never been to PAX, but it's got some similarities to what they do at E3, man. You're gonna love it, and then get the chance to meet all these people that you've worked with, you've talked to, and then
Right.
especially running into Loke. Even though I don't know, he might stink. You never know. I don't know. It just you know what I'm saying. He might want to burn. You might want to bring some incense with you. So
I
don't
wish
you gotta
Loke
watch
was
that
coming
back.
out there.
Oh, Loke ain't coming.
No.
Oh,
It's just me on this one.
damn. That's all right. Okay. All right. I was gonna say
Yeah.
Loke might smell like Funyuns and corn chips. You got to watch out, man. You know what I'm saying? You just
Sir
never
X
know.
Fan said super chat as if I don't have it on the screen.
Oh my God, Sir X, man.
I got it right here. I'm trying to read it. We just finished enough conversation, man. Relax.
Wow. Yeah. No, I can't wait. I can't wait to hear your stories and stuff like that about PAX East, man. It's great. Damn, I wish Loke had a chance to go, man. He would have loved it, man. But yeah. Well, definitely, I'll definitely will be looking in and trying to get out and do some stuff when hopefully here in the next year or two for sure. So yeah,
Yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting up with you two back. Yeah, he's
yeah.
gonna be out there at PAX. I already know that. Strex fan with
Hmm.
$2 super chat earlier saying Ham Solo should be called Ham Psycho. Is that how you
Ham
Ham,
Psycho.
Ham Psycho?
Yeah, Ham
Okay.
Psycho. Yeah,
Well, why? I don't understand why.
because you said you was crazy earlier.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. No. I was just saying I was about to go crazy, and we about to go crazy a little bit right here for the last 12 minutes that we got. Okay, maybe cook. I'm not even gonna say anything, just cook.
Uh, Xbox dodged the bullet. Now, again, like my boy Xbox 448, he was right. Like Phil lied. Phil got on stage and said that they were going to work into VR, and they never did. And Phil should be told off about that because that's a lie. He
That's
was wrong.
facts.
That's a fact. But
He
he
said
also
that
dodged the
on
bullet.
like a whole show for the whole world to see.
Right, right. Yeah, I'm saying like we're going to invest in the VR till he's seen them numbers. Said the and the reality hit.
Oh, y'all
They
doing
they
what with
see,
HoloLens?
yeah,
Oh,
what?
okay.
Okay, and PlayStation, yeah, what? That only sold what? Okay, and then they're working on the second one. Okay, let's just see let's see what they do with that. Come on, Sadia, let's just see what they do, and if it works, then we'll invest in a little something in that. Man, it has been a year or less than a year. When did the PlayStation VR2 first come out? Was it
At the
March
beginning of
or April?
2023, in January.
No, I thought it came later than January. I thought it came
Mm,
around this
I
time.
I thought it came out in January of last year. Like I thought, like the whole pre-order thing was
Well, I
like
thought that it
really
got
slow.
delayed because of chips or something like that.
Oh,
Regardless,
I
though.
think you're right. I think you
Yeah.
might be right. It might have been like February or early March.
Yeah. So it's a year or a little bit under a year, regardless. But the reality is this: it is toast right now to the point to where they are saying that
February
they're going to.
22nd of 2023.
Okay, so a little bit over a year, and the
God
success,
damn, barely.
bro, the success of this peripheral is there is no success. It is we know that, and I said this. I said what it was dead on arrival because PlayStation tried to come with this premium talking shit, and they wanted to get out and let people know because of the specs and all that. And we know that the specs is, but the two biggest factors, one is that damn price point. And the second one was not letting it come on PC day one. And what's crazy is that if PlayStation now, well, since PlayStation wants to put the VR2 on PC, it's already too late because the competition has already been on PC and it's cheaper. And yes, the specs for the PlayStation VR2 is fantastic, but for that price
Phenomenal.
point, but the price point just ain't doing it. And you know what, Ham? What's really crazy? And let me put another third bit of a nail into this tomb, into this casket. Let me just finish hammering this thing in. They went crazy and did not put the backwards compatibility in with the people who did support the PlayStation VR 1. And you don't have any PlayStation VR games, 2 games to show for it now. Going a year later into this peripheral, man. Like such a botched, ridiculous, just pitiful. I can't even imagine who said, okay, we're going to go ahead and put this out at $550 or at the same price at $500 as the console, as the PlayStation 5. And we're going to give you a couple of games, but for the remainder of the year, there won't be any games. And the people that do have a lot of PlayStation VR 1 games, they won't be able to play them on this new high-tech machine. What? Like, who's in? And the people saying Jim Ryan is walked out on his own accord. Nah, man. Hell no. This is bad. I hate this for people who are fans of VR. But the reality is this: like, I mean, it's cooked, it's done, and this thing is going to go away like the PSP, and it's going to go away like the Vita, and then Sony might try again here sometime next generation in another 10 years or so. But yeah, console and VR, nah, man, just go ahead and get that stuff from. Go get the MetaQuest, go get the MetaQuest, go get the Vive, go get the other stuff from PC or whatever else, because the PlayStation VR2 is toast. I wouldn't be surprised if there's going to be more games that more developers that worked on those games first party that will be shut down, if not already. So I hate that for people who are fans of that thing, but until that price point comes down, it ain't gonna do no good. What do you think? I mean, I'm just being honest about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna close it out pretty much saying this, yo. Like, I've been saying it from the jump. Shit should have came out for PC. You should have had a PC. You should have, by this time, in my opinion, Sony should have already had a launcher on PC, and you should have already had the PlayStation VR2 available to use on the PC. You shot yourself in the foot by attaching it solely to a console. Solely to a console. It has all these phenomenal specs that you can't get with a lot of different headsets in VR right now. But the one thing that it doesn't do is what all the other VR headsets do. Go to PC, play various games with it and whatnot. I felt like they really thought that they had something all inclusive for themselves. And they definitely could have if they went into it supporting it much earlier on than trying to support it while simultaneously launching it. Like, to me, that was insane. Wow, what a miss by not having something like I mean, they did it for the PS5 itself. How do you have fucking what is it? How do you have that game with the PlayStation mascot come out on the PlayStation 5 itself?
Oh, Astrobot?
Yeah, Astro's Playroom. How do you
Yeah.
have that come out on the PS5 itself, knowing dang well it was one of the most credited games for the original PlayStation VR, and not have a game like that ready for the PlayStation VR2? Instead, you bump Astrobot out of the way and give us another dry ass Aloy game.
Damn, you disrespected Aloy. Stop that. I can't wait to play her on the 21st.
I'm just
Aloy,
saying it like it
PC
is. Like,
Nation, let's go.
A lot of people had a lot of fun on the Astrobot game that they got free for the PS5. A lot of people had a good time playing it in the original PlayStation VR. Right? It's a great game. It made one of my bros cry because he's such a PlayStation fan. But like, but he played that Astrobot game on his VR and was like blown away by how much the game involved the technology that was put into the PlayStation VR2. So, or the PlayStation VR1, excuse me. So to not have stuff like that set up for the VR2, to me, is like it's dead on arrival. Like, you didn't even support this with things that popularized your first one, and then you lock it down to a specific console, and then you're surprised that people don't want to buy a peripheral that costs more than the damn than the damn console that they're playing it on. Like, like none of it made any sense. It only made sense to Sony, and somehow I mean, obviously, it just ain't work out.
No, it didn't, and
It just
that's
didn't
the
work.
sad thing of it. Yeah, no, and this is the thing that Sapo said that made a lot of sense as well. And uh Joe in the Dark said, yo, this Friday you will be able to sleep comfortably in the Forbidden West with Alloy, dry ass personality, K Mega. So disrespectful. Y'all are
It's a
so
fact.
disrespectful to the
Shout out to
great
Bunty
Alloy.
with the 10 TSWS gaming memberships.
Nice,
Tossing
that's
them out to
awesome.
y'all. I appreciate that. That's awesome.
But Sapo said this. It said, it's not just that. It takes it. I could take MetaQuest to work, tether my phone, and use it without a PC console for half the price. The PlayStation VR2 didn't have a chance. They expected their entrenched fans to show, and that's the thing. Like the PlayStation fan for the console are casual fans. They love PlayStation for the namesake. We can see that by the games right now. If the games, if it see, in casual gamers are not loyal. They're just not loyal. They'll buy your console. We're seeing the PlayStation 5 sell like hotcakes, but they're not supporting the games. They're not supporting the peripheral. Nobody's talking about that what's called it anymore, that PlayStation handheld.
Or the Portal.
The Portal. We're not hearing anything about that anymore. So that's the thing. Like, if the price point has to be sweet enough in order for them to do it. And of course, games do matter, but yeah, if you're asking for $550 for something that you're not going to have on, you're not going to be having on your head constantly. That is asking a lot of money on top of the fact that you're not, that a person, like, let's just say, for instance, let's say somebody got their income tax, right? And then they were like, you know what, this PlayStation VR2, man, this looks kind of cool. I might get this for me and the family. Well, but I don't want to pay $40 to $50 for these games. Man, oh, I see PlayStation VR1. If this compatible and it's like $10, man, maybe if I can, you know what I'm saying? Maybe if I can get that and then I could play this on here, maybe I'll go ahead and I'll buy it. That's that should have been the strategy right there from PlayStation. It's like, look, if we knew that we're not going to have enough content for this VR headset, how about we still keep the the games from the first VR, have people have access to them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think it's crummy if they would do that, but still, it was given opportunity. Do that little $10 upgrade bullshit that you do with the games that you did. Do that with the PlayStation 1 VR1 games, and let people have access to those games and have something to get you until you can drop a lineup. But they didn't do it, and I didn't know about the tethering situation with the phone and stuff like that. And of course, I was hearing people that was complaining about the wires, and saying that they wish that it, for the price point, that it wasn't that it was wireless. But I don't know, man. It's just,
I mean,
bad
that's
all around.
Up.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I gotta go. I got my phone call
Go.
popping up right now. I gotta go handle some business. So
Let's go.
thank you guys so much for supporting and whatnot. Y'all have a wonderful rest of the day. It's your boy Ham Solo and K Mega signing off from TSWS Gaming, letting you know, keep it gaming and keep it moving, y'all. Peace out.
We out.